Welcome everybody, Shift Your Mindset here with a new episode, and that is the Pure Control Convention. Pure Worship Convention. It's called Control, people, because if you have a look at the program, the talks they have, the dramatizations they have, the videos, it's all about control. Because behind those carefully crafted talks, behind those dramatizations, lies a familiar pattern. It's full of manipulative language, it's full of emotional control. Everything is to reinforce obedience and silence of dissent. The message of this Pure Control Convention is: don't question the authority of the organization, don't draw attention to your struggles. I go deeper into that one. And it is basically all those 3 days you can summarize in conform to the organization, or else. We all can guess what that else is. Because this year's program doesn't shy away from very disturbing content. There's a bad social media talk, materialistic views for wanting higher education, and of course, what I explained in the previous videos, it's about apostates. So we can break down every talk, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be depressed for the rest of the day, and I don't want you to be depressed for the rest of the days. So it's all about the teachings in this convention. And it's quite shocking because I covered the whole thing about the apostate, the brother who shared some information, who was immediately cast away, big fight with his friend, and he rejected it, everything and all that stuff. But it's not normal how the organization is treating apostates. And apostates are people who are mentally diseased, according to the Watchtower of 2011. Instead, they seek to infect others with their disloyal teachings. They are mentally diseased and they seek to infect others with their disloyal teachings. Apostates, I'm an apostate, we never lie about the teachings. Maybe there are some people who are lying about the organization, but 99.9% of the apostates bring factual information. Information that you can look up in their own history of books, magazines, etc. When we say that something changed, and why does it change now? That's not disloyal teaching. There's nothing to do with being dishonest or whatever. No, it's about facts. But apostates are also despicable. According to the Watchtower 2006. We are like Satan. The new convention videos confirmed it. We are slanderous. We are wicked. Because we try to draw away the disciples after themselves. According to Watchtower, I'm not trying to draw away you after me. No one is following me, I hope. Maybe you are resonating with something I said, or I'm saying now, but that doesn't mean that you are draw to people to myself. That's lunatic. That's strange. That's not being honest, governing body, because the only thing you want is to draw people after yourself. So you are the apostate and you are the wicked one in this. False brothers, dangerous thinkers, we like gangrene. The world, their word will spread like gangrene. Apostate ideas are like gangrene. We're poisonous, venomous, we're haters of truth. They are not lovers of truth, but haters of it. Watchtower 1980. Keep away from them, who show a critical attitude towards Jehovah's organization. Avoid them like the plague. Circuit overseers name us that way. Do not even say a greeting to them. We don't speak with apostates or greet them. Watchtower 2011. So we're agents of Satan, we're deluded, we're rebellious, we are treacherous, we are ravenous wolves, twisted thinkers, we are slick and seductive, we are loyalty testers from Satan, we are tools of Satan. All that is not true. But they want you to highlight what pure worship is. Pure is without mixing anything else. But what is pure worship? Worship is that you are loyal to God, loyal to His Son. Nowhere in the Bible it's said loyal to His organization or to men who try to make you think and do like they want. The Bible is about doing your research. Question everything that comes from human beings because they have not the best interest in you. And if you want to follow the Bible, do that. Be my guest. I hope you do that. There's nothing wrong with following the commandments in the Bible to love each other, to empower each other, to lift each other up. That's not a bad thing, but pure worship is now about following the organization's guidelines, and they follow only their own rules in their best interest. So you have to stay quiet, you have to be silent, you have to be a follower and not somebody who can and is allowed to think anymore. That's how far the governing body went off script already. And this year they're gonna go full out on being obedient. Because there are some clips they are showing to highlight what pure worship is. The storyline is mainly following a witness family. The son is deciding what to do in the future. The wife has cancer. They always have to have something really, really dramatic to show to the people. And the husband has concerns about social media. Now, so they are moving back into a congregation they used to attend with the family. And in the clip, you see that the father scrolls through social media. We all scroll through social media. And he starts judging how some of the photos show women with barely anything on. I believe it was a workout outfit of women. And he thinks Satan has always tried to exploit our natural desires. I don't know about his natural desires, but if I was him, I would do a check for himself what his natural desires are. Because if I see a woman on my feed, on my Instagram or whatever, with a workout outfit, I see a woman with a workout outfit. And I can have an opinion about is it necessary that you film your workout, or what is your intention with this video? But I'm not thinking, oh, that woman, and that I want to have sex with her. But this brother doesn't control himself, apparently, and he thinks Satan is going after him with natural desires. Like he did with Jesus. Every time they make the parallel to Jesus. He's tempted in the desert, he's this, he's that. But he claims that trying to meet desires in a selfish way is not right. And that brother decides to delete his whole account on that app. I think it was Instagram. So Watchtower goes all the way into your family home, into your family life, in your private life, in your personal decisions. That's not what religion is about. Pure worship is that you love God with a pure heart. And God knows we make mistakes. But is looking at a photo on your feed, is that a mistake? Because I don't know, but I think Jehovah's Witnesses are very, very cringy. Because when I see a woman on the street, and maybe it's a beautiful woman, but that doesn't mean that I want to sleep with her. I can say to my wife, hey, that's an attractive woman. Punto. Nothing more, nothing less. But the governing body is portraying that if you see a beautiful woman, that your natural desires are taking over. It's so messed up how they position these kind of videos, these kind of situations for people who are following that high controlled religion. They think that everybody is immediately seduced. I can't wrap my head around it, because that's the stupidest thing you will ever see in this religion. They don't trust their own. I trust my own. I have a wife, I'm loyal to my wife, and I can see a beautiful woman, but that doesn't change the connection I have with my wife. That doesn't change how I see her, how I feel about her, how I cherish her, how I want to be with her. But Jehovah's Witnesses have so much uncontrolled feelings, apparently, that they don't trust themselves. And that's why you get a weird audience together in a congregation. That if a brother looks at a sister, that he automatically wants to sleep with her. So they don't trust themselves, but they don't trust others also. And the governing body trusts no one in that organization. But they make it so clear and so heavy that they infiltrate in every aspect of your life. That's not pure worship, that's pure control. You are being controlled, like communism, dictatorship. They want to know everything about you and what you're doing, and want to have control about everything you do in life. It has nothing to do with the religion, because you have to separate that. Besides religion, you have a personal life, you have a personal feelings, you have everything is personal. And religion is not allowed, in my opinion, to infiltrate in your personal life. And of course, the power of the language they're using, because that's the one that it's the only truth, that you the fear of bad news, or the end. That are all motivating things they use to backing their own teachings up. So the convention's aim is to strictly encourage you to close yourself off of all questioning, of critical thinking, and also social engagement. So what they do, they physically drain you so much that you are getting manipulated, that you feel pain and sorrow. Because if we go to another piece of the video, it's clear for you guys. Because a sister is battling cancer. That's horrible if you have cancer. Nobody wants that. She's depressed, she's tired, she leaves the dinner table early while she's with her friends, and another sister goes to her room and tries to cheer her up by taking a selfie with that sister and expressing to her how beautiful she is. And that sister invites her to join a Facebook group of fellow witnesses. We know there are many Facebook groups with witnesses, but the governing body has something up their sleeve for those groups. She says if people in that group could hear your truth, you would be an encouragement for so many people. Intention, nothing wrong. You can be an encouragement for other people. If you're making a video about it, it's just what is your intention with it. If you want to encourage other people while you're battling a disease, it's good. If you are doing that to seek attention maybe, then it's another thing. But still, it's your free will, I think. But then, of course, the sister is gonna consider it, but then she thinks, yeah, Jesus was also tempted in the wilderness. And Satan tried to get him to draw undue attention to himself. So it is wrong for me to share what I'm going through. It's seeking unnecessary attention. And she says, updating my friends and family is one thing, but this feels wrong. You can imagine how some people in the crowd at the convention who have social media and try to help others in this way would feel. They're devastated, I think. But nobody, people, believes that if a sister is battling cancer, she's tired, she's depressed and everything around that she is thinking about Jesus in the wilderness, getting tempted by Satan, and that it was drawing undue attention to himself. And that's the reason why she doesn't want to keep people posted of her battling cancer. Nobody in my right mind can convince me that this is going through somebody's head if they are till this in trouble. Nobody. But suddenly, magically, the Holy Spirit reminds you about Satan tempting Jesus and that you don't want to attract unnecessary attention to yourself. Nobody. And then again, the governing body is dictating what you should do. So now, if somebody is somebody who is helping others through social media is feeling unworthy. They're gonna delete their accounts and they're gonna stop with it because it's unnecessary attention seeking sister. It's nothing. And I always say, focus on yourself. Don't focus on other people. They do a 180 on this, because this is the power of persuasion. Do not focus on yourself. So it's about control. It's not about somebody reviewing all the options and make his own decision. No, the decision is already chosen on forehand. So that's persuasion. You directing somebody in a certain way before they even are comparing everything to make a good decision. And that's critical thinking. Option A, B, C, D, E. What feels best for me? Where am I happy with? What is for me the best option now? No, before you go to the options, you already are persuaded by the governing body what to choose. And the next example is a good example of that. Because a married couple who recently moved is talking to the younger man of that family about his future. Nothing wrong with that. Once the sister mentioned how they have a comfortable life and are still witnesses, it cuts to the sister with cancer, sending her questionable looks as she says, "You are so young and smart, there are many opportunities. You need to be realistic." Later on, the kid's father goes to his room and mentions that the couple's focus have seemed to be off. So, a couple who is a Jehovah's Witness isn't good enough anymore in this pure worship convention. No, because this witness couple has a comfortable life and is living a good life and is being a witness. But the governing body can't have you to live a comfortable life and be a Jehovah's Witness. No, they want you to suffer and be a Jehovah's Witness. And that is so wrong. So they don't want you to pursue higher education. But if it is in their advantage, then it's possible. Because they don't want you to get a degree, they don't want you to be a lawyer, they don't want you to be an economic, be head of a department, study for something, be a contractor, be an engineer, I don't know what. But only if the organization needs someone, then it's okay. So what do you want? Do you want somebody who has an education and can give more money to the organization? Or do you want somebody to have a low life and still is struggling because they need people to struggle? Because people who struggle have the best hope. They are not relying on themselves. They rely on something outside of themselves. So they have hope. Oh yeah, their better times are coming. Paradise is coming. Yes, I see it. We're getting persecuted. Yes, yes. Oh, we're almost there. Yes, yes. But somebody who is independent doesn't need the organization that much. Why? Because they rely on themselves. And that's not bad. I think you have to rely on yourself before you give away that power. But the kid scrolls through social media, seeing his friends, of course, traveling, and think, oh, Satan has always done this. He tried to tempt Jesus with what the world could offer. We know that scene. I give you the whole world if you do one thing of obedience to me. So also this kid gets advice from a couple, gets advice from his father, gets advice from the organization, gets advice maybe from his school friends, I don't know. But then you make a decision, but you make your own decision. But no, that father is going to that son and says that the couple's focus seemed to be off. You don't know that other couple struggles. You don't know why they are thinking like that. You weren't present when that couple was talking to him. You don't know what the intention of that couple is. The intention is good. That couple says you have to rely on yourself, you have to make your own money, and if you can do, and from there you can take it into Jehovah's organization to do more. Maybe if you work a little bit less, you make still enough money and you could pioneer or whatever. You don't know what the angle and strategy of that couple was, but the couple are still Jehovah's Witnesses. So what's wrong with that? No, that focus is off. That's not pure worship. No. So, of course, this young man is also reminding Jesus and Satan, and he focused on Jehovah and doing his will. So Jesus did that, so I'm gonna do it also. And then he goes off the social media apps also and starts watching a JW broadcast video. Of course, people from that age are gonna watch a JW broadcast video. But oh guys, it's getting weirder and weirder by the minute. I'm so glad that I'm not going to attend the convention anymore. And I think a lot of PMOs and other people who are there, are feeling cringy all the time. It's not one video, but every talk is drenched in control. The convention is so about pure control. Not trusting your own thinking. Not wanting better for yourself. But trusting and giving your all to Jehovah. So there are more videos and talks to come in this convention. But I started with those few videos and talks. It's about giving everything you have to Jehovah. And just when times are getting tougher for everybody, food prices are going up, petrol prices maybe in your country or your area, rent, stuff like that, everything is going up. It's also about that a father has to provide for his family. But what you are doing now is pure control. You don't trust the thinking of your Jehovah's Witness followers as a governing body, because that brother sees a woman with barely anything on his feed and he deletes the app. So they want you to socially distance yourself further away from everything around you in the world. They don't want you to read the news, they don't want you to check up something, they don't want you to research outside the organization, but they are also infiltrating in the living room of all those JWs. You are not allowed to think for yourself what to look at the internet anymore. It's like a Chinese regime that they block certain sites. The governing body is blocking you from everything around you. But that whole thing is gonna be that people in the Jehovah's Witness religion are getting weirder and weirder. Their behavior will become weirder and weirder because they are restrained by the governing body. And there is so much force on that racket, but eventually it will snap. Because then you can't control your emotions anymore. They don't trust your thinking. They don't trust you to make a good decision about your future, about what you want to do in what order. Because it's normal that you get an education and then you can look what you can do more in that organization. What's wrong with that? They label apostates as the most evil things. I think that's a good thing. Why? Because if you say to a kid, hey, that's fire, don't touch the stove, they're gonna touch it. If you say nothing, nothing will happen, maybe with the child. But if you are going that far in saying, this is apostate, and that is apostate, people get curious. So I'm only applauding for the governing body for this one, because it will make people curious what the apostates have to say. And they just present facts. They just hope and encourage you to think for yourselves. The people in the scriptures in the early days were Bible students, like the Jehovah's Witnesses were used to call. But now they don't want you to be a Bible student, because a Bible student goes about what is the intention of the scripture and the reasoning behind it. It's not about all the letters and the words. It's why was this said? In what time period? Why was it said then? What can I learn from it? And it's good to have your own mind, and you're making up your own mind about something, because then you can embrace something. If you're just following them, then it's not yours. You're not convinced about it. You're not feeling it. You're not living it. You're just obeying orders. So this pure control worship, pure worship convention, it's a pure control convention. And I hope, people, that you see through it, because nobody can make you delete apps. So they are setting a precedent now that if you are scrolling through Instagram, that you're already wrong. So what they do, they want to decrease your self-worth. They want to get you as far as from your own true identity as possible. And I hope people will see through it. That people think, hey, hold on, this goes too far. I'm not buying this anymore. So people, watch out for yourself, do your critical thinking, do your research, and you will see that this is a pure control worship, pure control convention. And it has nothing to do with pure worship. Thank you guys for watching. See each other at the next episode.